my friends, and welcome back to Ration Nerd. We are back today, and you are back. That is the most important part. The fact that you are here makes me super jolly, and if you want me to get even jollier, you know what you could do for me? You could absolutely hit that like button and hit that subscribe button and talk to me in the chat. It is always a great time to hear from you guys. And if you really want to support the channel, you could hit up that Patreon, because you know I be giving away rations every month if you're a $5 subscribe member to my Patreon channel. And hey, Patreon members, thanks to you most of all. You absolutely rock out with the cock out for helping me support this channel. And at some random ass point in this video, maybe at the end, maybe in the middle, who knows, I will announce the winner of the ration giveaway. And I'm even going to film the part where I use a hat, probably the Ration Nerd hat. Imagine that. Merch, if you want to get some merch. But I'll use a hat. I'll put all the names in it. I will pick it out live on camera. Poof. And there will be a winner to the ration giveaway. And with all that shit out of the way, we are going to check ourselves once again. Why? Because we have a Czech ration here. This is the newest iteration of the Czech BDP. This is lunch, a menu number L2. This has some chicken in it, and it charges your batteries for 4 hours, apparently. I don't exactly know how it does that. There's no USB plug I can find in here anywhere, and apparently there's a way to heat it, and there's probably a janky wooden spoon in here, but we're going to crack into this. We're going to find out what is on the dinner menu for this guy today, and as usual, when I'm doing a ration, I haven't eaten anything, so I'm fucking starving Marvin, as usual, so I'm giving this food in this pretty cool, excellently OD kind of green colored bag the best possible chance to taste good to this face. So I'm coming into this guy completely hungry and ready to go. So let's see what is in this lunch menu L2 from this Czech BDP. This ought to be a lot of fun. I actually had a really cool ration that was going to come out this week, and I apologize. I just don't have the time to edit it. My real life work is getting busy, and if you want to help getting me out of real life work, you could definitely subscribe to Patreon. I think that is going to be the key to me not having to do so much real life work and be able to do the fun stuff like eat rations and talk to you guys over this weird platform they call YouTube. So if you want to help me to be able to afford these rations to keep bringing this goofy ass content to you, you could always join Patreon. I'll say last time I'm going to talk about that. No, it's not. I'm going to talk about it all the time. But anyway, we're going to crack into this menu L2 and see what I get to have for dinner today. So let's check out this here tear notch. Oh, it was almost completely sexy. It just failed there right at the end. Nice little Ziploc bag action. It does have a gusseted bottom, but it doesn't want to stand up because, well, everything in here is not square, so it's really not making it stand up. So we have a ration heater, that is always good. We have a flameless ration heater of unknown quality. We'll have to get in here and try that out. Nice little heating package, a little insulator to keep your ration warm as it is heating up. Not too bad. And what do we have here? We have our sweet and sour chicken with rice. That is a really cool looking bag. I really like the texture on this. It just makes it look like some kind of weird hybrid between like a retort pouch and like a brown paper lunch bag. That's pretty bitchin'. And that's a 340 gram main. Not too bad. 40 more grams than your usual 300 gram main, which is always nice. And that's a really strange ration item that I have never seen before. This is white cabbage and corn. I have a feeling I'll be stuffing that into that FRH. I don't want to eat cabbage and corn cold, because that would kind of suck, because this certainly feels like it's cooked. It's not like coleslaw or something like that. So we have white cabbage and corn. That is a really interesting ration item, and that's pretty hefty. That's coming in at 210 grams. It might not be uber calorie dense, but hey, it is pretty heavy. So that's going to fill the belly and give you some fiber for the pooping. If you don't know about cabbage, you should check it out. Eat a bunch of cabbage. Tell me how that poop goes later, yo. Ooh, I'm feeling chocolate bar action. Oh yeah. And here we have a 35 gram chocolate bar. It does not say whether it is light or dark chocolate, but we will figure that out together, you and I and the rest of us. 35 grams of chocolate, really hoping that's dark chocolate. And then we have it's made by Food Force, and this is simply labeled dessert at 40 grams. I'm not really sure exactly what dessert it is. Feels like maybe some dried fruit, maybe nuts and dried fruit. Not 100% sure. We will certainly crack into this and check it out. But we got 40 grams of a dessert item, which chocolate's kind of a dessert item to me, but... And what do we have here? We have an instant fruit drink coming in at 40 grams. Not really sure what flavor this is going to be, but we will figure it out. So we have some instant fruit drink, not too shabby. Little drink action never hurt nobody. Then we have a utensil. I have a feeling this is going to be a janky ass wooden spoon. Let's just go right for it. Yep, there's that janky ass, already slightly broken on the side wooden spoon. Nobody wants a wooden spoon. Just cut it out with the wooden spoon, guys. God damn. Nobody wants to eat with a tongue depressor. Nobody cares that it's biodegradable. Let me tell you what, all that biodegradable shit goes right out the window when you're trying to eat your food and it tastes like a damn tongue depressor. There are other biodegradable materials that you can make a spoon out of that don't taste like or feel like you're eating with a tongue depressor. So thanks, but no thanks. And we also have a napkin. Let's check this guy out while we're at it, just disassembling things. So this is a half decent dinner napkin, not very thick. No discernible, like, decorative patterns. Not that there really needs to be one for a military ration, but hey, I'm being descriptive, you know? It's just plain, it's a napkin. You can wipe your face. You probably can't wipe your butt with that unless you want some serious poke through. Nobody wants that shit. Then we have an accessory kit here. Might as well just crack right into this guy. And right off the bat, you have a pick for your twofers. We have a moist towelette, always nice. Keep your dirty dick beaters off of your nice clean food. We have 2 packs of sugar coming in at 4 grams a piece. So that 8 grams of that diabetes powder for you. We have 2 grams of coffee. Coffee is excellent. Going to have some coffee with dinner. Going to love every last second of it. We have 2 grams of salt. And last but not least, we have a piece of chewing gum. Not too shabby. Is there anything else in here? Nope. That is it for this particular kind of bitchin' looking bag. I gotta hand it to them. Changing the color made me really interested in this. That's why I ordered it. Well, my friends, this is everything contained. Well, my friends, this is everything contained in a Czech BDP Menu L2. This is the newest iteration of the Czech ration. I am going to get all this nonsense out onto a tray, and I will be right back, and we're going to enjoy some nice dinner together, and my stomach is going, feed me, bitch. All right, well, here we go with this trip. We have everything out and ready to go. The first thing I want to do is get the main items heating up, obviously, because that's going to take the most time. And watching flameless ration heaters work past a certain point is like watching paint dry on the wall, and I know you guys aren't here for that. Jesus, maybe I just had my next breakthrough, like, Wonder Channel idea. Considering that, like, my videos go, like, up and down in views a crazy amount, maybe I should just start, like, an ASMR channel of just fucking paint drying on the wall and see how that does. Because, like, I put out that Spanish ration review last week, and I got, like, 1,000 views. I put out that Malaysian ration a couple weeks ago, like 40,000 views. There's a fucking discrepancy here. Like, something in the algorithm is very potentially busted. I'd like to know, Mr. YouTube, exactly what in the fuck you were doing. Anyway, like I was saying, I want to get these mains heated up, and I also want to give this kind of small flameless ration heating element, which is glued to the inside of the bag, so I can't, like, rip it out of there and show it to you guys. But I'm going to take a little bit of this salt, and I'm going to add it to the FRH, because as we all know, if you've been doing rations for any extended period of time, or even if you just watched a few ration videos, you know that salt helps to act as a catalyst for Mo-Beta heating in a flameless ration heater. So we're going to try to get the best exothermic reaction humanly possible, and we're going to waste a little bit of our precious 2 grams of salt, dump that right in there. And I don't know that this ration heater needs it, but I don't want to take any chances. So we're going to throw that main down in there. And I really don't like that heating element being glued in there, because one, it means I can't move it to the bottom, which is kind of a bitch. Let's see if we can just... Yep, all right, fine. So maybe I can get that out of there. That looks a lot like a US flameless ration heating element. It is a bit thicker than that, but I want the hottest food possible. I'm not eating cold cabbage and corn, so this is going in the ration heater as well. And they even made it dummy proof for me and put a fill line on there. Like, don't fill past this point, you dummy. So nobody needs to measure out any water. We just have to pay attention to how much we're putting in the bag. And now that we've got that filled up, we do have a little resealable piece of tape on there, which is always pretty cool when they do that. I enjoy it. And then we'll shake that up a bit, try to activate that heater we kind of buried in between the mains. But c'est la vie, that is what it is. So we're going to stick this guy right off to the side here. Oh, wait, we forgot to put our insulating sleeve on there, which probably isn't going to fit now that I've crammed 2 main items in there, but they should have thought about that before they gave you this undersized cardboard sleeve. Come on, Czechoslovakia, it's just cardboard. It's biodegradable. Give me more cardboard. So we'll lean that up against a cock or something. I mean, a rock or something, or anything, for God's sake. Put something there so that'll stay vertical. And that's always a little upsetting when, you know, there's like, I know there's not always an immediate reaction, but I would kind of like to hear a little something, because I ain't eating no damn cold cabbage. Be warned, Mr. Flameless Ration Heater, I will take that shit right out of you, throw you in the trash, and then take those mains upstairs and put them in a pot of water and boil the shit out of them. And then everybody will get the techno boil, which some people really turns them on or something. It's pretty crazy. Just don't fuck with me. Heat up my food, bitch. Anyway, let's get to making these drinks. And as you know, coffee always takes priority. So we're going to get that 2 grams of coffee out. There's no creamer in here. That's a little bit of a bitch. We're going to get some coffee going on. And I'm so hungry. I'm ahead of myself. I forgot to get a look at that. Now, honestly, these look like some pretty decent freeze-dried coffee crystals. Those look really yummy, so I am looking forward to hopefully a nice strong cup of coffee. If it can't be creamy, we might as well make it sweet. So we're going to go for full diabetes all day. Give me that 8 grams of sugar, please. And let's dump some of it on the tray so we don't get the full 8 grams. Jesus. And I'd just like to point out that that's pretty cool that this is actually a foil-lined package even for the sugar. That's actually really cool. That allows whatever is inside of that little container to stay fresher longer. And I don't know about you, but I don't want my sugar granules picking up any smells, flavors, or odd colors or shit from the inside of the bag. That's the problem when you just have it inside of a paper sleeve, like the regular paper packets. If it's stuffed inside of an accessory kit with a pack of matches, you get sugar that tastes like match heads. It's goddamn disgusting. Now let's check out that instant fruit drink of indeterminate flavor. That smells very citrusy. I'm just beginning to start to hear some activity in that guy. We're going to have to take a long pause for that shit to heat up, that's for sure. In the meantime, let's hydrate that nice hot water. And that looks like quite a bit of powder in there, so I am going to go a little heavy on the water. And let me tell you, if you're not drinking enough water on a regular basis, you really should be. You should hydrate yourself. It's good for your kidneys. It's good for your body. It's good for you. Water is one of the most important things you can do to love yourself. Go drink some water, y'all. And just about the only thing on the planet, other than depressing tongues and maybe doing some arts and crafts, that this spoon is good for, is stirring a drink. And we're probably going to have to come back to that because a lot of that sugar just swirled right to the bottom. We're going to go ahead and get a taste of this to see if we need to add more water. And that's about perfect right where it is. Honestly, I can't tell you what fruit flavor that's supposed to be, other than it's like a hybrid between a really weak orange and peach flavor, and it's actually really good. There's real sugar in it. It has a really nice flavor. It almost has a little bit of an isotonic beverage flavor to it. Just a little hint of salt. Not bad. That's actually a pretty decent drink. If I had a bottle to shake that up in, or a canteen to shake it up in, that would work out really well. That's a yummy drink. Now we're going to move on to the coffee. I know I did the coffee out of order. I've insulted the coffee gods, which is probably why I didn't get any cream with this goddamn ration. But let's check out this nice little cup of brew we got going on here. And that smells really healthy, which is nice. It has a nice dark color. And that's actually pretty decent as far as instant coffee goes. Being a freeze-dried, it has a much more natural coffee flavor than a spray-dried. A tiny little bit of acidity, very smooth, mildly nutty, which is a good thing if you're a coffee head like this guy. That's a pretty decent cup of coffee. I would have loved to have seen that come with some creamer of any fucking variety. Like, give me some cream to go with the coffee. You guys know how it is. There's the trifecta. It's the coffee and the cream and the sugar in the holy trifecta that makes coffee the most wonderful beverage on the planet. This doesn't have it, but that's okay. I'm going to give them a hard. Maybe in the Czech Republic, they don't like cream. Who the fuck doesn't like cream? If you don't like cream in your coffee, you're broken. You should probably fix yourself. I know you don't want to hear this. I know some of you are out there like, whatever. Put the goddamn cream in the coffee. That's where it belongs. But that is a pretty decent cup of coffee. Let's check out what 40 grams of dessert looks like. And that is a fruit and nut mix. Not too bad looking, actually. So we have some dried pineapple bits. We have some very large piece of walnuts, which I'm not crazy about, but that's just me. Then we have some almonds. We have some papaya. We have some relatively large raisin action going on there. We have some pumpkin seeds or papitas. We have a big piece of white fruit, which is not identified at this moment. That's okay. We'll identify it with the face. Raisins, nuts, it's all in there. It's a big grab bag. There's some coconut flakes going on in there. 2 different kinds of raisins. Not too shabby. That's pretty decent looking. I'm not excited about the walnuts, but that's just me. Your mileage may vary. You might be like, hooray, walnuts. Me, I'm kind of like, not so much on the walnuts, but that's all right. Let's check out this chocolate bar. Mr. Flameless Ration Heater, you're fucking killing me over here. Like, maybe I stuffed too much shit in there, but you're not doing anything, and I need you to, like, put some work in here, buddy. What are you doing? You're not doing anything. I'm just making a mess. You're getting ready to go in the trash, and I'm getting ready to go get a pot of water. And I'm definitely getting close to calling it quits with that FRH. I'm too damn hungry to wait for that thing, and it really hasn't taken off at all. That's what you get for styling your Flameless Ration Heater after us. Don't follow us when it comes to Flameless Ration Heaters. Ours really suck. So let's check out this chocolate bar, which is looking like a dark chocolate bar, which makes me super jolly. That right there is a long rectangular bar of what looks like dark chocolate goodness. We'll have to figure that out here momentarily. And we might as well get this gum out onto the tray while we're talking. Oh, look at that. Nice and sky blue. Oh, there's 2 pieces in there. Just keep pooping them out, buddy. All right, well, in sum total, since I sat down at the table with everything out on the tray, that guy has not really done much of anything. That food is barely warm. That ration heater is not taken off. So then I figured maybe I'm just being an impatient prick, right? I'm really hungry. I'm kind of hangry. So maybe I didn't read the instructions where it said give it 12 minutes. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'm going to give it 12 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to check out something different in the interim while I'm giving that Flameless Ration Heater the absolute best possible chance of bringing that food to life. I did take the smaller retort pouch, put it on the outside, inside the sleeve to give the Flameless Ration Heating element more room to work. It is making a little bit more noise. I don't feel any warmth in the top of the food. Hopefully I'm not wasting my time. But in the interim, we're going to check out something crazy and weird that I picked up from one of the channel members. This is a dented ass can of emergency Chinese rations. Not necessarily associated. I mean, there's a little bit of distance between the Czech Republic and China. But anyway, so this is 1,190 calories of Hawthorne slices. This can has taken some abuse. No clue if the contents are any good. They were either manufactured in or expired in 2020. Not really sure. I mean, canned goods normally last for a really long time until they've taken a sincere beating like this one has. Contents sound really dry. Not sure if they're supposed to be. But there's also no stains or leakage anywhere on the sides of the cans to indicate that anything kind of crapped out of here. Maybe it's supposed to be dry and janky in there. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I don't even know what the fuck a Hawthorne slice is. So I'm going into this 100% blind. I know it's Hawthorne slices. I know how many calories are in the can. I know it's not wet in there. I have absolutely no clue what I'm getting into. I mean, maybe Hawthorne is just like a Chinese word for fucking bread. I have no clue, but we are going to check this out while we're waiting for that Flameless Ration Heater to do its thing. So let's crack into this expired can of Chinese emergency ration Hawthorne slices and see what that brings to my appetizer for dinner. I don't really sure how to say this, but let's listen to see if there's any, well, there shouldn't be any squirting. Let's listen to see if there's any air escaping or whatever. I don't know. Let's check it out. It did make a little bit of a suction noise, which is interesting. That's just weird. Chinese stuff, since I've gotten sick, kind of freaks me out, but we're gonna dig in and see. Is this food? What the hell is that? I'm not really quite sure how to describe that. I mean, it smells kind of earthy and fruity and tangy and metallic all at the same time. I have absolutely no clue what I'm getting into. What exactly is a hawthorn slice? Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. Is this like a piece of plywood or something? Check this out. I mean, for a survival item, that's kind of neat. Like, it's one big, not moist, but it's weird smooth texture. That smell is just really odd. It kind of reminds you of like almost like fermented fruit smell, but a very sweet fermented fruit. I imagine this is kind of just like a biscuit. Oh, that just looks like, it looks like cardboard, if I'm being 100% honest. I mean, I'll give you a cross section. Not that there's a whole lot to see here, but so that, I guess this is a hawthorn slice. Maybe this is like a fucking tree or something. Watch, this isn't even supposed to be edible. This is probably like a flameless ration heating tablet or something like that, and I'm getting ready to stick it in my face. Whew, the shit I don't do to entertain people on this channel, and myself, to be quite honest. So this is a hawthorn slice, and it's pretty crazy. Let's just put one of these back in the face hole. The trash can is ready for me to eject this if anything turns up to be foul, but let's try a bite. And that's really crazy. It's mildly sweet. It's more like a candy. I'm not sure if this is the actual consistency of whatever a hawthorn is, and I'm not Googling it intentionally just because I wanted to not know what the hell I was eating. That might be to my demise, but this is very sweet. It has a pretty high amount of vitamin C. At least that's what it tastes like when it first hits your mouth. And then it just kind of starts to disintegrate, almost like a candy. It's actually really pleasant. The taste and the smell really do not match, but this is definitely a very interesting like survival ration or emergency ration item. This is kind of pleasant, sweet, definitely something to munch on. Not going to give you a ton in the way of activity, but this is definitely really an interesting survival food item. Let's get another bite of that. And that's crazy. That's actually really good. Mildly fruity, sweet, tangy, high vitamin C content, very easy to eat, probably extraordinarily easy to digest. And now that I've already eaten a half of one, I'm going to Google what the hell a hawthorn is. All right, so the cool thing is that these nifty little wafers are actually made from a hawthorn berry that grows on a bush, basically, and apparently are known for relieving stress, anxiety, and good for heart conditions, which is a pretty crazy thing to turn into this nifty little wafer. Probably could have made it a little bit more attractive, but if they had, they wouldn't have been able to pack so many of these yummy little slices into this can. And that also goes to show that these probably don't have any artificial colors, simply because hawthorn berries are red. Either that, they added a lot of like plywood pulp or something to this to like bulk it out, but this hawthorn berry is allegedly very good for you. This is a tasty little survival wafer. I kind of have to hand it to him. I mean, unless I'm barfing later, this is actually a really yummy little appetizer to have your meal with. It's said to help with high blood pressure, cholesterol, stress, anxiety, as well as have a mild sedative effect. So if you just see like my big head slam down on the table in a few minutes, you know that that whole sedative part was absolutely correct. I'm going to finish this up and give that hunk of crap the rest of the time it allegedly needs to make me some hot food. And if you see the techno boil footage, you know that flameless ration heater just didn't work. All right, and that is about as far as my patience will go. Everything has warmed up, not crazy hot, but decently warm enough that I won't be eating cold cabbage and corn, which is pretty good. I'm not exactly happy about the performance of this flameless ration heater. There's not always a ton of consistency with flameless ration heaters. I will say the sweet and sour chicken with rice definitely got a lot warmer than the cabbage and corn. So I guess putting it on the outside of the pack was a good thing and a dumb thing all at the same time. We'll find out. It's decently warm. Didn't work out great. I'm a little sad about that. Sweet and sour chicken is not something to be consumed cold unless you're just really weird. So let's get this sweet and sour chicken out on the tray and see what that is bringing to the dinner plate. That actually smells extraordinarily yummy. I know I'm hungry. I did just have a couple of hawthorn slices while off camera. And by the way, it's just sugar and hawthorn berries are the ingredients on those, which is kind of neat. Really sugary. I wouldn't eat all those in a single day, but those are actually pretty yummy. Anyway, sweet and sour chicken action. Let's get this out. Ooh, it's a little watery, and it's a giant brick. All right. Well, you can't say they shortchanged you on the meat, because I'm seeing quite a bit of chicken in there. Give me all that sweet and sour chicken goodness, all the bird, all the veggies, every last grain of rice. I'm starving. Good God almighty, I'm hungry. And I'm even excited to see what some cabbage and corn is all about. That is a really interesting ration item, if I have to say so myself. That smells kind of like sauerkraut, which I happen to like sauerkraut. That's very, very interesting looking, just kind of chilling in the pouch in there. These do seem like unlikely bedfellows. You know, like these two probably really don't go together. Cabbage and corn and sweet and sour chicken with rice isn't exactly what I would pair together, but you know, it's certainly an interesting ration item for sure. And you see this wooden spoon? Fuck that wooden spoon. We're just gonna reach in and grab that big ass UN spoon, which is pretty cool. So this ought to assist us really well with dinner. Let's get this mess all broken up and see what that's about. It looks like some of the rice has just turned into one big rice blob. That's okay. I mean, it's kind of acceptable. I think if it would have gotten heated up a bit more thoroughly, it would have came out more like the remainder of the rice did. That is a lot of chicken all in one place. That looks really nice. Like some dark meat chicken action going on. I don't know. Yeah, that looks like a piece of chicken thigh. That's absolutely lovely. You know that Ration Nerd loves the dark meat, but this actually has a really, really nice savory smell to it. Pretty basic. We have some red peppers floating around in there. We obviously have some big chunks of chicken. That looks like a piece of pineapple. That could be a refreshingly yummy bite. There are a couple of peas floating around in here. Maybe some green pepper. It seems like throwing a default handful of peas into everything is just the way they roll. Not Czech Republic, but just ration manufacturers in general. Just throw some peas in that motherfucker. And we have some onions, which is always a wonderful thing. Lots of pepper pieces, which is really nice. Very, very awesome. One of those peas I was talking about. Some more red pepper chunks. I would have definitely liked to have seen some more pineapple in here, but hey. So because I'm starving and I just want to get right at it, I'm going to get some of this chicken. This is either processed canned chicken or some really slow cooked chicken. We'll find out as soon as we put that up in the face hole, but take a look at that. Let's get a bite of that and see what that sweet and sour chicken tastes like. And that's absolutely great. That is actually a big hunk of chicken breast, which is pretty damn amazing if you ask me. It's a really nice savory flavor. It could use just a tiny bit of salt, and quite honestly, we don't have that much salt, so that is a good thing. So we're gonna go ahead and just salt that up, because that actually tastes really good. Just needs a little extra something, and they gave it to you, which is always really nice. Well, let's go back in here and get a big old bite with some rice. Give me one of those onions. Give me a little hunk of that. Come here, pineapple. Damn it, chasing this motherfucker all over the tray. And we're gonna need to make sure we're thoroughly chickened. God damn it, I'm like losing shit. It's coming on the spoon, it's falling off. It's on, off, on, off, on, off. Fucking shit. Anyhow, that is a big honking bite. I'm really hungry. Let's try a little medley of just about everybody in this big ass hungry face of mine. That is actually really amazing. The rice is cooked really well. It's not mushy at all, which is really nice. It has a little bit of texture to it. Almost just a teeny tiny bit undercooked, but I'm going to give that a super pass because it's so much nicer to be able to actually texturally discern individual grains of rice while you're eating it, rather than just like eating a big smushed ball of rice. So that gets a pass as far as I'm concerned. Really good texture, really excellent savory flavor. The chicken is excellent. It's not dry. It's extremely moist. The pineapple adds a nice sweet zing to it. This has a really nice base flavor of the red and green peppers it was cooked in. That, along with the seasoning that's in here, this is actually a really good main. I just wish I could have got it a lot hotter than it is. I probably should have just listened to my inner ration retard and went and took these right to the stove and boiled the hell out of them. If this was warmer, or, well, to be fair, if this was piping hot, it'd be absolutely amazing. But even just being warm, this is a really damn good sweet and sour chicken. And I'm really amazed at the fact that that chicken is not in any way dry. You'd be amazed at how many retort pouch chicken items you can get that leave the chicken having a really dry feeling in your mouth, even though it's packed in something wet like this. That's actually quality chicken that's in this package, and that's really excellent. And there's quite a bit of chicken for a military ration. That's got quite a bit of meat in there, which is really nice. Absolutely going to fill you up, make you feel good about what you're eating. This sweet and sour chicken is pretty banging. And we got to try some of this cabbage and corn. I mean, I think the only thing the corn is in here for, it's probably just to make you poop. Like, realistically, corn, it's kind of worthless as far as like nutritional value goes, because you don't really break it down. It just kind of runs through your system, and maybe that's the point. The point is that you need some fiber to flush out the sweet and sour chicken, and here it is, mixed up with some basically little sauerkraut action. Take a look at that. If you don't like sauerkraut, you're probably hating this bite, but if you're like me and you like sauerkraut, I might be loving this bite. Oh, and I was absolutely loving that bite. This is like sauerkraut. However, either they've added some sugar to it to sweeten it up, or the corn being cooked in it with the retort pouch has imparted some level of sweetness to this cabbage. This is actually really good. It's an excellent side item. Doesn't really pair well with the sweet and sour chicken, but honestly, at this point, zero fucks given. It's a yummy side item, and it's pretty hefty. Coming in as heavy as it is, it's certainly going to fill that belly. And if you're eating a military ration, you're probably doing military shit, or you're a goober sitting at a table like me, and maybe you need a full belly. If you like sauerkraut at all, this is amazingly satisfying. It has that sauerkraut zing to it, but either with the added sugar or the corn, making it just a little sweet. So it's really enjoyable. Nice texture. This is an excellent side item. I would certainly say if you can grab yourself one of the newer Czech rations and pray that you get this side item, you will not be disappointed. Dear Mrs. Ration Nerd, I apologize for what this really yummy side item is going to do to my butt later, but you see, I do it for the people that watch the videos. So you're just taking one for the team. You're absolutely amazing. So it's got to say something about the taste and quality of this side item that I haven't touched the sweet and sour chicken since I took the first bite. And I was singing the praises of the sweet and sour chicken because it's really good. But this side item is just off the hook. Very different, really fun to have something like this. This is great. Dear Czech Republic, that's a banging side item. Now fix your flameless ration heater so your soldiers can absolutely eat it hot, because this is amazing. And since I have some of that sauerkraut juice currently running down my goatee, I'm going to use this napkin to try to rescue that. And that absolutely worked. It's not the best napkin on the planet, but it'll certainly do the job. Now back to this sweet and sour chicken, because this shit is good. This is absolutely yummy. Highly recommend this ration, especially this menu variation. This is a really good time. Got a nice big hunk of chicken. That's absolutely excellent. Lots of chicken in this dish. You would figure if they call something sweet and sour chicken, it would have a lot of chicken in it. Not always the case. Sometimes they call it sweet and sour chicken because there was a chicken that was cooked next to it, and somehow some of that flavor got imparted. But this actually has quite a bit of meat in it. And we're going to get a big old bite of that. Just some chicken and pineapple together. That ought to be a good one. And that really was an excellent bite. Bravo. That was yummy. Got a happy face going on here right now. And I let my coffee get cold. That just won't stand. Never stood a chance. That coffee was actually pretty decent. And let's clean up that face hole just a little bit more with some of this yummy ass fruit drink. I don't know what the hell fruit it is, but it's pretty damn yummy. Yeah, that's definitely like a mix of orange and peach. That's actually a really great flavor. Now let's get back to polishing off of this a sweet and sour chicken. You know, the only thing I really have to complain about with this ration is that shitty ass like arts and crafts spoon, which nobody needs arts and crafts in their ration, and the fact that the flameless ration heater really did kind of suck the balls. And that is the last bite of that sweet and sour chicken, and it's pretty funny. I'm showing this shit off like I just made this in my own kitchen. It must be pretty good because I've felt the necessity to like stick it up in your face so many times. This was actually a really great main. And this is a go check yourself spoon drop. Why? Because you really need to get a Czech ration because this shit was pretty banging. And now it is absolutely time to move on to dessert. Just for the sake of argument, I'll throw one of those big ass walnuts on there. We'll get a little bit of everybody. We'll get some raisins. We'll get an almond. We'll get some pineapple. Where'd that papaya go? Papaya. There's some papitas in there. I don't know who came up with that. Pumpkin seeds being papitas. I don't think that pepitas. But anyway, and we got papaya. Let's go. Do we want to go with the white mystery fruit? Yeah, why not? Let's throw that fucker in there too. Some more raisins. That's a pretty healthy looking dessert mix right there. It's more like trail mix as far as I'm concerned, but Food Force considers this a dessert. Let's knock it back in the face and see what it's all about. Oh, wait. We forgot the coconut. The only thing about that I don't personally like are the walnuts. I'm not a big walnut fan. They're just not in my flavor wheelhouse. It is not the nut I want to put in my mouth. Take that however you want. However, there are a couple of hazelnuts that were hiding in here, and I do happen to like hazelnuts, so we're going to do that whole mess again. Hey, look, there's even a cashew in here. There's all kinds of shit hiding in here. We're going to do that all over again, just without the walnuts. I tried it with the walnuts just to give it its day in court. I'm not a fan. Doesn't mean walnuts are bad. It just means I don't like the taste of them, so don't hate on me over fucking walnuts, for Christ's sake. Anyway, I'm going to throw that big old mess in my face, and sans walnuts, this ought to be pretty banging. That fruit and nut mix was actually really good. The nuts were unsalted, and that's kind of okay because it left the sweet of all the other fruits as like the driving flavor in that, so I can see why they call it a dessert. There was a little bit of savory in there with the nuts, but that was really good. It's really just trail mix. It was a yummy trail mix though. Now we gotta go on to this chocolate bar because this looks like dark chocolate and I'm really excited about it. Let's break that puppy in half. Take a look at that bar of chocolatey goodness. Let's throw one of these little chocolate bricks in this big swampy face hole and see what that's all about. Oh my God. You know what? There's no way I could possibly explain that to you until I eat another bite of it. Oh my God. And that is an excellent, excellent dark chocolate bar. Right about 60%. That has an excellent flavor. Still retains a decent level of sweetness. I like it a little bit less sweet, to be honest, but that is a really good dark chocolate bar in the sense that even if you liked milk chocolate a lot, you could eat that and not complain about it too much because it's sweet enough to push that chocolate button, but not so sweet that a dark chocolate eater like me doesn't like it at all. That is an excellent dark chocolate bar. Loved every bite of it. And let's see what we got. In the dick beater washing department, we have that wet towel going on. Dink. So this is relatively thin. Nothing as far as like a big, really not a strong towelette. Smells mildly of alcohol, which isn't bad. A little bit of a like lemony kind of perfume scent to it. And this thing is definitely not the strongest wet nap ever. I mean, you're not washing your car with it or anything. You're just trying to wash your hands, but hey, sometimes hands are rough and dirty, and if you're trying to get them clean before you eat your meal, you want this thing to be able to survive the process. And the very last thing we have is we're going to throw some of this gum back in the face, and we're going to talk about that. Damn it. That's a bunch of... We're going to try some of this sweet and sour chicken gum. Whoa, God. Whew, I feel like I could breathe fire. Jesus. And that gum is the worst. Okay, so if you get the Czech Ration, which I highly recommend, do not chew the gum unless that gum wasn't even mint, it wasn't peppermint, it was menthol. 100% straight menthol. So if you were to take an unflavored Hall's candy, if you've ever had one of those, it's actually not a candy, it's like a throat lozenge or something. God, my mouth is like on fire. It's like I licked Ben Gay. It's horrible. So yes, that will freshen your breath. It'll also make your mouth hurt. Like literally, my tongue, I had to spit it out because it was so foul. My tongue and the roof of my mouth have that weird over menthol taste. Kind of the way Ben Gay feels on your skin. Like every time air moves across those surfaces of my mouth, it lights that menthol on fire. So it's that weird, uncomfortable sensation in my face. I really don't like that. The gum gets 2 thumbs down. I would give it more thumbs down if I owned more thumbs. But at this point, I would never try that gum ever again. I highly recommend though, if you get one of these rations, you should try the gum and get back on here and tell me if you think I'm full of shit or if I was 100% right. And I would bet you that most people would go, yeah, dude, you're 100% right. That was like chewing a chewable, unflavored Hall's throat lozenger. Absolutely disgusting. Do not recommend. That shit was a mess. All right, so here we are on the night of the 9th, the day that I said I would do the drawing. And just so everybody knows that everybody's getting a fair chance every single Patreon member has been written down because I'm a cheeseball and forgot to use the fucking printer at work. So I wrote everybody's name down, and just to make sure that everybody gets a fair shot, I will slice all these up, and I'm sure if you want to like pause the video or something, you can see that every single one of my Patreon members is on these pieces of paper, so everybody has their little moment, their little chance to win the free ration. Everybody that's on the Patreon is on here, and as you can see, we got the rockin' Ration Nerd. What is that called? I think that is called like the jockey hat or something. It's really cool. If you dig down in there, you'll find this hat. It's pretty badass. So we're going to do the ration drawing, and I want to make sure it's as fair as humanly possible. So if I blunder over some words, I'm not going to edit anything out because I don't want anybody to think that I'm cheesing them. So there we go. That's just a blank piece of paper. Nobody gets to win because that's nobody. So we're going to take all these names. We're going to fold them. Damn shit, I should have probably pre-done this, but I wanted everybody to know that everybody was getting a fair shot. So everybody's name is going in the hat, and I'm just going to kind of fold them up. We're going to pick one, and then I'm going to mail the ration out to whose ever name I pick out of this badass Ration Nerd hat that I mentioned. By any chance that you guys could get a Ration Nerd hat on the merch website that's linked on the page, and you could even have your name in this hat for whatever ration I decide to give away next by joining Patreon, which is only $5 a month. I said that I probably would say that again during the video, I think. So there you go. I did say it again, and everybody's name goes in the fucking hat. As soon as I can pick them up and throw them in there. So this is unscripted, unplanned. I knew that I had to come down here and pick a name out of the hat, so I'm going to flip a flop of them around because I really can't see what the hell is going on in there, and that's the entire point. So there is, hopefully I got the best angle in that. There's the hat, and the winner of the ration is Scott Mini. So there you go, buddy. This ration right here, I'm going to box that fucker up now. I'm going to get a hold of you on the Patreon and get your address so I can mail this ration to you. So make sure you're paying attention to Patreon members, because it totally could be you. Scott, congratulations, dude. Thanks for signing up for Patreon. You guys, as I've said before, absolutely rock out with the cock out. This ration is going in the mail as of Monday. It is the 9th as we speak right now, and I probably won't have time to get to the post office over the weekend because I got too much shit to do. But Scott, congratulations. You rock, man. You get this South Korean ration, menu number 2. And if you're a kimchi lover, well, sorry about that, but you're going to have a badass ration to eat in just a short period of time. So I'm going to go box this fucker up, get in touch with Scott on the Patreon, get some digits, some address, and mail this fucker right out. All you guys that are supporting me on Patreon, I greatly appreciate you, and this is just a way for me to say thanks. We're going to do this drawing again next month. I know I originally said I was going to wait for like 100 Patreon members or something, but you know what? The bottom line is I have a lot of rations laying around that I'm never going to get a chance to get to before they get like really old, or I've ordered more than one of a particular ration because I really wanted to get it, and you never know what customs is going to do to you. So hey, I'm going to share the bounty. I'm going to share with you guys. If you are supporting me, then I'm going to try to do something cool for you. All my Patreon members thus far that have sent me their addresses have gotten a free sticker. That's just a little way of me saying thank you. I'm probably going to continue to do that. So if you want to join Patreon, you'll probably get a free sticker because I'm a pretty cool guy. Maybe I'm an asshole, but I'm the kind of asshole that sends you a free sticker. So if that makes me cool, bitchin', if it makes me an asshole that just sends out free stickers, well, I guess that's just life. Now, back to whatever part of the video I decided to edit this into. Eat 'em up, bitches. So thank you guys for joining me here on Ration Nerd, where I go out of my way to bring you the coolest shit I can possibly find. And I just happen to really like the way this bag looked, so I figured I'd give it a chance. I've had Czech rations before. They're not the craziest or most interesting things on the planet, but I have to say that this ration in particular was actually really good, minus the gum. Everything else was relatively decent. In fact, the sweet and sour chicken was amazing. The side item of the cabbage and corn, which was really sauerkraut, was off the hook. The trail mix was great. The chocolate bar was banging. Other than the ration heater, which sucked balls, this was a great ration. Highly recommend. I found these for relatively inexpensive prices, which is absolutely awesome. And if you want to be absolutely awesome, do you know what you could possibly do if you could find it in the kindness of your pretty little heart? Is hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and talk to me in the chat. It is always great to hear from you guys. Special thanks to my Patreon members. You guys are making this stuff happen. And as previously stated, you are absolutely rocking out with the cock out. Even the female members of Patreon, you're still rocking out with the cock out. Where you're getting the cock, I have absolutely no clue, but wherever you're getting it from, just keep it coming. Love the cock. Wait a minute, I didn't say that. I never said that. That's not on the internet of things. I did not say that for real. But anyway, check me out on Patreon, join here on YouTube, hit like, subscribe, and talk to me on this channel. Let's help push the algorithms so I can get more watch time, so I can keep doing this goofy ass hobby. And you absolutely know, if you've been hanging around for any length of time, but if you haven't been, let me tell you that at the end of every video, I happen to say something like, if you can find something cooler than this Czech Republic BDP, Lunch L2, and maybe even some crazy ass Chinese survival food Hawthorne slices that look like you're eating a chunk of plywood, you absolutely know what to do. Eat 'em up.
So man, I'm kind of doing this thing like where at the end of every video I like get real close to the camera and I'll be talking like this guy. I don't even know his name yet, but I gotta give this character a name, right? Because he's like the guy on the outro of the video where like he be talking and he talking like, you know, talking about Ration Nerd, like how dumb he be, or like shit he be doing that's stupid, or like all this other stuff. So I gotta name this guy. So if you guys could like help me, like, you know, give this guy, like this particular voice actor, a name, like, so like at the end of the video, like, you know, so and so says all this shit about Ration Nerd while all the Patreon members are getting their props. I would greatly appreciate if you guys can help name me, because I ain't got no name right now. I'm standing here, I ain't got no name, I ain't got no identity. I'm just a voice. You know what I'm saying? It ain't cool if you're just a voice. Like, you gotta have something in this world. You know, you can't just be a voice with no name. Like, you can't just be a person and you just can't do it. Like, you guys gotta help me, because this guy's got me trapped. He's got me trapped like the man, and we can't have the man keeping me trapped. You guys gotta help me out. You gotta name me. You understand? You got to name this man. The end of the video guy. You gotta call me something. You gotta give me a name. You gotta help me, because he's keeping me here locked up and I can't get out. So if nothing else, I could have a name when I'm trapped in here with this big goofy motherfucker.